In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on February 10, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. San Antonio Spurs versus Brooklyn Nets. In a cross-conference clash, 2 teams currently situated outside their respective playoff positions are set to face off in the bustling city of New York. The San Antonio Spurs, amidst their rodeo road trip, are gearing up for a showdown against the Brooklyn Nets this Saturday evening. The Spurs, fresh from a back-to-back encounter against Orlando on the road, succumbed to a 127-111 defeat, failing to cover the 10-point underdog line. Meanwhile, the Nets hosted Cleveland in their recent matchup, enduring a resounding 118-95 loss and falling short of covering the 7.5-point underdog line. The historical regular season series between these teams heavily favors the Spurs, holding a dominant 73-28 advantage with a 106-98 home victory in their latest meeting on January 17, 2023. Experiencing a disheartening stretch, the San Antonio Spurs find themselves in a precarious situation, having lost 12 of their last 15 games. Their aspiration to halt a 6-game losing streak was thwarted by the Orlando Magic in a 127-111 defeat, where Devin Vassell showcased resilience with a 30-point performance. Despite their commendable 51% shooting from the field, the Spurs struggled to keep pace from the start, trailing by 17 points at halftime and facing a daunting 23-point deficit in the third quarter. On the other side, the Brooklyn Nets are grappling with their own struggles, dropping 4 of their last 5 games. Their latest setback was a 118-95 loss to the Cavaliers, marked by Mikal Bridges' 26-point effort. However, the Nets endured a woeful shooting night at 39%, contributing to an early double-digit deficit and a staggering 31-point margin in the second half. The injury report reveals the absence of Cameron Johnson for the Nets, while Lonnie Walker is anticipated to make a return for the Spurs, who currently have no players listed. Despite the Nets' recent woes and their unimpressive performance as favorites, the Spurs face a challenging task on the road, with a 12-14 record against the spread in away games. Despite reservations about backing the Spurs due to their defensive struggles and inconsistent form, the Nets' unconvincing 23-26-2 against the spread record for the season and their difficulties in covering recent games provide an opportunity for the Spurs to defy the odds as underdogs in this one. So the San Antonio Spurs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. As of Friday's games, the San Antonio Spurs have surpassed the total score in 27 of their 52 matches this season, with 2 pushes. Their propensity for turnovers, averaging 14.8 per game, places them 26th in the league, while their high-tempo style ranks them 3rd in possessions per game at 101.5. Conversely, the Brooklyn Nets have leaned towards the under, posting a 26-24-1 record in their 51 games, and they exhibit below-average tempo at 98 possessions per night, ranking 23rd in the league. Additionally, the Nets stand 5th in turnovers, committing an average of 12.6 per contest. While both teams have made defensive adjustments with roster changes preceding the trade deadline, the Spurs' fast-paced play might face a slowdown in another East Coast road game. With new additions like Schroeder and Young for the Nets, the early game flow could be disrupted, leading to a lower-scoring affair. Consequently, the expectation is for the total score to fall below the projected figure, making under the projected total our full game side pick. Memphis Grizzlies versus Charlotte Hornets. In a face-off between 2 teams vying to improve their standings, the Memphis Grizzlies, currently positioned 13th in the Western Conference with an 18-34 record, are set to battle the Charlotte Hornets, also holding the 13th spot but in the Eastern Conference, sporting a 10-40 record. This highly anticipated clash is scheduled to take place at the Spectrum Center on February 10th, with the game broadcasted on NBA LP. Beyond being a contest for pride, this matchup represents a crucial opportunity for both teams to gain gain momentum as the season unfolds. Given the struggles faced by both teams, this game holds the potential to be a turning point in their respective campaigns. The Memphis Grizzlies find themselves in the midst of a challenging period, eager to break free from a 7-game losing streak after succumbing to the Bulls in a 118-110 defeat on Thursday. Jaren Jackson Jr. led the charge with 28 points on 11 of 22 shooting, complemented by G.G. Jackson's 27 points off the bench, while Santi Aldama and Scottie Pippen Jr. contributed 15 points each. Despite a commendable effort, shooting 46% from the field and 18 of 46 from beyond the arc, the Grizzlies fell short in the final quarter due to a lapse in focus, allowing the Bulls to amass 38 points. On the other hand, the Charlotte Hornets are grappling with their own struggles, enduring a 10-game losing streak and losing 17 of their last 19 games, including a 120-84 defeat to the Bucks. Brandon Miller and Nick Richards led with 16 points each, but the team faced challenges, shooting just 34% from the field and 7 of 29 from the three-point line. With both teams seeking redemption, this matchup holds significant implications for their respective seasons. In terms of player availability, the Grizzlies are currently hampered by the absence of key players such as Zaire Williams, Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, and Marcus Smart. Conversely, the Hornets are eagerly awaiting the debut of their newly acquired players. The Grizzlies, despite losing 3 of their last 5 road games, have demonstrated a better offensive performance on the road, averaging over 109 points per game. Known for their prowess on the boards and aggressiveness on the offensive glass, the Grizzlies are expected to capitalize on second-chance opportunities in this game. On the defensive end, the Hornets, with one of the league's weakest defenses, are conceding over 119 points per game at home, and the challenge of playing on consecutive nights may add to their struggle in containing the Grizzlies. With a losing streak of 9 games, including 8 consecutive losses at home, the Hornets face offensive challenges, scoring less than 110 points per game at home. Additionally, their rebounding capabilities are inferior to the Grizzlies, and their propensity for turnovers might play into the hands of the Grizzlies, who excel in stealing the ball. While the Grizzlies have faced defensive struggles, they have had an extra day of rest and are up against a Hornets team that underwent significant changes at the trade deadline. This could provide the Grizzlies an opportunity to control the Hornets' offense and secure a victory. Despite the challenges faced by the Grizzlies this season, they seem poised to exploit the vulnerabilities of the Charlotte Hornets in the upcoming matchup. Fueled by determination and anchored by Jaren Jackson Jr.'s stellar defense, leading in blocks, the Grizzlies showcase resilience, evident in their ability to compete fiercely in closely contested games. Notable contributions from Santi Aldama and strategic playmaking by Scottie Pippen Jr. further bolster the team's potential for growth and success. While their defense may not be the strongest, allowing 113 points per game, it is the offensive prowess of the Grizzlies, fueled by players stepping up in the absence of injured teammates, that could prove decisive against the struggling Hornets. Confidence in either team is understandably low at this juncture, but the Grizzlies hold a slight edge, particularly with Jackson Jr. consistently delivering impressive performances. While the Hornets are expected to improve with roster changes, their struggles might persist until their new players take the court. Both teams face challenges, but the Grizzlies enjoy a rest advantage and have covered 7 of their last 10 games. In contrast, the Hornets, on the second night of a back-to-back and coming off a demoralizing defeat by the Bucks, have lost 10 straight games and failed to cover in 8 of their last 10. The Grizzlies, with their recent form and advantageous circumstances, emerge as the preferred choice. The adaptability and resilience displayed by the Grizzlies, even in the face of adversity, position them favorably in this one. So the Memphis Grizzlies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Hornets, currently struggling, are not recommended for backing at this time. Examining the offensive statistics, the Grizzlies maintain an average of 107 points per game, rising to 109 points per game on the road. Notably, in their last 3 encounters with the Hornets, they averaged an impressive 129 points per game. Their fast-paced style, averaging 102.5 possessions per game, is set to challenge a Hornets team that concedes 119.5 points per game at home. Expect the Grizzlies to surpass their average in this game. On the other hand, the Hornets, with an average of 109 points per game and 108.5 points per game at home, face a Grizzlies team allowing 114.5 points per game on the road. Despite a slower pace, averaging 101.7 possessions per game, the Hornets are poised to reach or even exceed their average. The history between the Grizzlies and Hornets suggests a tendency to surpass the total points in their matchups. Both the Grizzlies and Hornets have demonstrated the ability to score in bursts. Despite lower rankings in offensive efficiency, the Grizzlies average 107 points per game, while the Hornets are slightly ahead at 108.7. Defensively, both teams struggle, with the Grizzlies allowing an average of 113 points and the Hornets conceding even more at 120.4. Considering the urgency for a win and the potential to exploit defensive weaknesses, this game is likely to see both teams contributing to a high-scoring affair. Given the offensive capabilities and defensive challenges, the total points in this game are anticipated to surpass the projected total, making over the projected total our full game total pick. Chicago Bulls vs. Orlando Magic. The upcoming matchup features the Chicago Bulls facing off against the Orlando Magic on Saturday. Chicago is fresh from a 118-110 road triumph over the Memphis Grizzlies, while Orlando secured a 127-111 victory against the San Antonio Spurs at home. Both games taking place on Thursday. In their recent performances, the Chicago Bulls have demonstrated commendable form, clinching victory in 4 of their last 6 games. Their pursuit of a third consecutive win becomes more apparent after a hard-fought 118-110 road triumph over the Memphis Grizzlies. DeMar DeRozan spearheaded the charge with 30 points on an impressive 11 of 17 shooting, accompanied by Andre Drummond's contribution of 21 points and 13 rebounds on a remarkable 10 of 11 shooting. Nikola Vucevic and Kobe White also played crucial roles, each adding 20 points to the team's tally. Despite a halftime deficit, the Bulls rallied in the fourth quarter, shooting 54% from the field and 12 of 26 from beyond the arc, securing a narrow road victory. Contrastingly, the Orlando Magic are riding a wave of success, winning 4 of their last 5 games. Their recent 127-111 triumph over the San Antonio Spurs saw Franz Wagner leading the charge with an impressive stat line of 34 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Jalen Suggs contributed 17 points, while Paolo Banchero added 16 points and 6 assists. The Magic dominated with a 59% field goal shooting and 16 of 27 from three-point range, particularly highlighted by a 38-point outburst in the second quarter, establishing a comfortable 23-point lead. As the Bulls face the Magic, they continue to miss key players Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine. However, the return of Alex Caruso and Torrey Craig is anticipated. On the other side, the Magic approach the game with a fully healthy roster. Chicago seeks to maintain momentum after their gritty win against the Grizzlies, whereas the Magic, bolstered by returning players, aim to continue their recent success streak with 4 wins in the last 5 games. The Magic's offensive prowess, scoring over 114 points per game at home, coupled with effective rebounding and solid free throw shooting, poses a challenge for the Bulls' struggling defense, allowing more than 118 points per game in their recent road games. In contrast, the Bulls have had a mixed record on the road, splitting their last 4 games. Their offensive struggles away from home, averaging just above 110 points per game, could be compounded by the Magic's strong defensive performance at home, holding opponents to under 110 points per game. Additionally, the Bulls' subpar rebounding and susceptibility to turnovers might provide the Magic with ample scoring opportunities. Orlando's defensive prowess, especially at home, could prove problematic for Chicago's struggling offense throughout the season. The Magic boast a solid home record of 16-6 straight up and 8-3 against the spread as home favorites. In contrast, the Bulls are 7-10 against the spread as road underdogs, signaling potential challenges for them on the road. Adding to the complexity is the unpredictable nature of the Chicago Bulls, with uncertainties arising from the significant number of players on the injury report. In contrast, the Orlando Magic stand out as the healthiest team in the league, with a remarkable 34-18 against the spread record for the season. The Magic's consistency in covering games positions them favorably, making them a reliable choice against the spread. Thus, the recommendation leans towards the Orlando Magic winning and covering the spread as favorites for the entire game. Analyzing the scoring dynamics, the Chicago Bulls average 111.5 points overall and 111 points on the road. In their recent encounters with the Magic, they managed a modest average of 94 points per game. Operating at a deliberate pace of 100.9 possessions per game, the Bulls could face challenges against the Magic, who allow 108 points per game at home. Expect the Bulls to fall below their scoring average in this matchup. On the flip side, the Orlando Magic maintain an average of 111.5 points overall and an elevated 114 points at home. Against the Bulls in recent matchups, they recorded an average of 99.6 points per game. The Magic's faster pace, with an average of 102.1 possessions per game, could pose a scoring challenge for the Bulls, who concede 115 points per game on the road. Despite Orlando's robust defense, their proficient offense suggests a potential scoring range of 115 to 120 points, while the Bulls might struggle to breach the 100-point mark. Historical trends, with the Magic hitting the under in 27 to 24 to 1 overall and 13 to 9 at home, indicate a preference for the over in this game, factoring in the lower pace expected. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.